Tory MPs I'm speaking to are really, really angry about this. They see this as some are saying it's the end for Boris. These are loyal Tory MPs. It's the end for Boris Johnson. It's the final straw. Don't forget, we've gone from, in December, just last month, he was saying about other parties. He first of all said they didn't take place. And then he said, I've been assured they didn't take place. Now it turns out another party, and this party we're talking about now wasn't at the end of 2020 when we were kind of a bit bored and tired of lockdowns. This was May 2020, the height of the lockdown, when we couldn't even stand in the same garden as other people, when rules were really strict. I think people were being separated at cremations from grieving widows, that kind of thing. That's when the party happened. That is completely appalling, I think, and that's what a lot of Tory MPs are waking up today. It's a different magnitude, I think, to the row about the pre-Christmas parties. The other problem he's got is there's nothing to distract away from this story. Christmas got in the way of the pressure on Boris Johnson. He had a reprieve over Christmas. He's come back. He hasn't appeared yet, apart from doing these kind of these clips when he looks like a hunted animal somewhere else in the country. And now he's having to face the music. I mean, I think to me, this goes to the heart of the chaotic nature of Boris Johnson. He's unwilling to bring someone in to organise his operation, and now it's leaching into the rest of the government and the party. A Tory MP I heard at the weekend saying that a fish rots from the head down. Well, the way to deal with that fish is to cut the head off, and that's why I think it's different to John Major in the late 90s. Then John Major was patently a good bloke, right, trying to deal with a party in basically a state of some degree of moral collapse. This is different. I think the collapse is happening in number 10 Downing Street, and that's why MPs might act against him.
You mentioned that the previous parties he's been able to say he wasn't there, or he was on Zoom, or he didn't know about it. It seems, and this may be crucial, he was at this party. Is that right?
Well, he's not saying he wasn't there. So as ever with Boris Johnson, things trickle out bit by bit. Part of the other problem, I think, is this, that he hasn't got a single person who can walk in there into number 10 and say, right, this is a disaster. Let's get everything out on one day at 4 p.m. on a Friday. Let's publish everything we know about this. And then we need to see a kind of Allegra Stratton style sobbing in front of the cameras about, I didn't know what I was doing. The problem is, I'm not sure that cuts through. I think Allegra's tears were genuine. I'm not sure his would be genuine, because it seems to be a pattern here over the past 2 years. It does. I think there's a real what will save him, and Boris Johnson is lucky, and what might save him is the lack of credible candidates to replace him. I can't see one at the moment. And people say Liz Truss. I'm not sure if she's viewed entirely seriously by a lot of Tory MPs. Don't forget, the future of Boris Johnson is not what you and I think, not what most of your viewers think. It's what 330 or 350 Tory MPs think, and then about 150,000 members of the party. Those are the people worrying about it. I'll be watching the Met Police. The Met Police so far have not investigated because they're not looking back at breaches of health regulations. But this one is different. I think they're quite early to say they're looking at this one last night to the newspapers. And it seems to me that if you get towards an issue of confidence in policing, if they don't look at this one, because if people start saying that might damage confidence in the police, then they might act. And once the police open an investigation, as we saw with cash runners under Tony Blair, it goes on for months and months and months. I've often said that Churchill was the great example for Boris Johnson because of his leadership, and that might be the case. But what might be interesting is that the other example from Churchill is he was a one-term prime minister who didn't see beyond the war. And I wonder whether that could be Boris Johnson this time as well.
Thank you so much for joining us. Christopher Hope, Chief Political Correspondent with the Daily Telegraph. Brilliant, sort of really fresh intelligence from Christopher there.